What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Sanctuary of Satisfaction for this week's special edition of It's Not Just Life-Changing, It's Also Lunch-Changing. Today, we've got a cool collaboration going with my buddy Isaac over here. I'm going to show you guys exactly what we got. We decided that we were going to do a beer cheese nachos, but then we decided to crank it up a little bit and turn them into the TD's Grill Barbecue and the inked up BRATchos. You guys stick around and check it out. I'm TD. You know it's TD's Grill Barbecue. There's Isaac.
I'm Isaac.
What's up, everybody? Look, check it out. Let me introduce you guys to my boy Isaac here. He's with Inked Up Custom Cooking in Hobbs, New Mexico. Make sure if you're watching on Instagram, give him a follow on Instagram. And that's where you're at on Instagram, not on Facebook?
No.
Okay. All right. So just check it out on Instagram there. We'll share a link later so you can follow me in the story, and then you can get to Isaac's page there. So he's gonna show us how we were talking about what we were gonna do. We wanted to do some chorizo beer cheese is what he had an idea of. And then as we were talking, we're like, instead of doing a chorizo, why don't we do it with the spicy carne sutra bratwurst? And that was what we considered a pretty much fantastic idea. So let's introduce you guys to what we call the BRATchos. All right, so I'm gonna let Isaac take it from here, man. He's got the spicy carne sutra brats.
So right now we have the TD's Brew Barbecue Carne Sutra spicy brats. What we'll do is we'll cut the casing down,
which is the only time that it is allowed to cut the casing off of a brat. Is if you're going to use the meat for something other than the brat. I don't allow that. So
we want to grind it down to make it into.
You need a bowl?
Yeah,
I'm using a bowl. Okay. And while we did get in a little bit of a hurry here to introduce Isaac, we got to talk a little bit here. What's up, Robbie? How's it going, man?
Fuck off! Don't talk about Chris Hale.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Chris Sale. Yes, we are gonna talk about Chris Sale and his 4-game 9 strikeout streak. But we're gonna stay off of the baseball train for a little bit here because up until about 5 minutes ago, I didn't realize that Isaac was a Philly fan. And I wouldn't have invited him if I would have known he was a Philly fan. And he's not just an Eagles fan or a Philly; he is a literal Philly fan. So that's the thing that is terrible about him.
Everything.
I don't know how this is going to go down.
There's a flyer right there. So, and then you can't see my thighs, but I got the mascot of all the Philadelphia fans.
A self-portrait of Bryce Harper down there with a bat.
and Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, Kelsey's the man. Kelsey's the man.
There you go, dude. So we got it. So this recipe calls for about a pound of bratwurst or a pound of ground beef or ground meat, right? And you normally use chorizo.
I do.
Is what you said for this beer cheese. Okay. So today we're gonna do it with the brats and we're gonna make BRATchos. I think it's gonna be better. So probably better than anything you can get in Philly.
Probably.
So all I know is that every time I do it live during the post game, here you go, man. During the postseason, and it's the Braves and the Phillies, and I always mock the Philly cheesesteak by doing some weird kind of chopped cheese, and that's the part that always ends up screwing me because that's whenever the series turns on me,
and then that's when they end up losing.
That's when we end up losing. Yeah, that's exactly it, man. That's usually about the time that the crowd starts chanting "We want Strider," and I hate that. That is the worst thing ever. So what we got here, man? We got the Napoleon cranked up. It's sitting at about 500 degrees, and we got our skillet here. Go ahead and tell us what we got there, Isaac. Here's the skillet. Just go put some olive oil in there.
We got the skillet all nice and hot. We're gonna throw some oil down just so that the brats don't stick to the pan there. We'll go ahead and dump that 1 pound in.
Uh-oh. You lose some. Man down.
Yep. And then we'll grind it down. Start browning that up.
So, Isaac, who's in first in that division?
Shut up, Robbie.
Hey, the Phillies are the number one team at the moment. Which which honestly kind of sucks at the moment, just because of the fact that last couple of years, when they've made a good run,
They were
they
the
suck
underdogs.
at the beginning.
Yeah.
They suck at the beginning, so we'll see how the rest of the season goes.
I don't know. All I've done is watch my team win over 110 games in the past 2 seasons just to blow in the playoffs.
So
Well,
that's why I'm kind of nervous on that part.
Yeah. Well, at least we don't have we didn't have a big curse following us around for 40 years.
Right.
A made up curse. Minnie, how's it going? Minnie Long is in the chat. I see she's in the chat right now.
How are you?
And Minnie Long is here from Lovington. She actually gave me a pretty good recipe one day for these brats. I haven't tried it yet, but don't worry, Minnie, I will try it pretty soon whenever I get to doing some more brat videos. So are we not hot enough here? Crank that bitch up, dude.
And then
You got that Napoleon really little hat.
and one thing that I like to do is I always season the ground meat or any kind of meat that I use. I always try to season it. And I have a inked up barbecue seasoning.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
And then
And this is this is a barbecue seasoning blend that you made?
yes.
Right on. So we already got the Carne Sutra in there,
Mm-hmm.
and we're adding a little bit of this. Now, what kind of flavor profile is this here, man?
It's
I'll let you take it over, dude.
More of a sweet flavor. It has a little bit of maple sugar. It has some salt, some paprika, some bourbon, black pepper that I make.
There you go.
So I'll get black peppercorn, soak it in bourbon for a month, and then throw it on the smoker so I can grind it down.
Right on. So I'm going to crank up this side a little bit here so we can get it hot because that skillet isn't quite high enough. We forgot to put it on the grill a minute ago. Feel free to close that lid if you'd like. You get hot right there. So Robbie. So there was something else I was going to ask you and I can't remember. I think all those 9 strikeouts from Chris Sale got to me. So Isaac, what did you let me, actually stand right there, Isaac, and you man the grill.
Okay.
I'll just show over here for now. Since we got both cameras going, so just face right there. Can you guys hear me well, Robbie?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Cool. So Isaac, tell us a little bit about what you cook whenever you do your catering and stuff here in house.
So some of the catering that I do a bunch of barbecue brisket. I make a really good potato salad. And then smoked mac and cheese is another thing that I do real well. Pulled pork. I also do Italian food. I have my own marinara sauce that I make from scratch. And then also I have salsa, Mexican food. I do a little bit of everything.
Right.
Barbecue, Italian, and Mexican food are about my 3 expertise. That
Pretty
I
much
do.
some kind of a fusion at some point, right?
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, that's what I like to do, man. I like to do crazy. I like Asian tacos, like that kind of stuff, man. I like to do really weird stuff. So, dude, that's pretty awesome, man. So, in a minute, we're going to be using a salsa that you make, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
What exactly is with the salsa on there?
So the salsa that I do, it's a smoked salsa. So I put all the vegetables on the smoker. I'll throw it on the smoker for about an hour and a half, let it soften up, let it rest for a little bit, and then blend it down, add some seasoning into it, and then it has a good, robust, smoky flavor to it.
Awesome.
And it's usually, everybody says it's usually mild, especially when you first, but then once you throw it in the refrigerator for
It gets hot.
for about a couple days, it starts kind of
Starts creeping up on you and biting.
it's definitely one of those that everybody says it's one that they would continue to eat. Like they can't just put it down to.
Can't put it down.
Yeah,
That's it. That's the good shit right there. That's the good shit right there. So what do you do on a daily basis, man? Like what's your normal job?
So my normal job, I work for Baker Hughes. I sell drill bits.
Oh, okay.
Done that for going on 13 years now.
And for Baker Hughes?
Yeah.
So you've been with Baker Hughes for 13 years? Oh, right.
Yeah, I've been there 13 years, and then since COVID, I've been cooking since I was 12. So for 31 years, I've cooked.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last 4 years, I've started really making it a passion and making it a life career that I've got going on so far. So it's one of those that I really enjoy to do.
Yeah, I completely understand that one. Going a completely different direction than you ever believed you would. Man.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I started making beef jerky. Is what kind of started the whole thing, and then of course COVID, oil field shut down, so you got to figure out other avenues to make money. So cooking was one of those passions. So I figured I'd go ahead and try that.
How's that? That better?
Yeah.
There you go. That a little better there? Yeah. Good. So you guys see the brat now. Again, it's pretty sacrilegious here in the Sanctuary of Satisfaction. If you cut the casing or to puncture the casing of a brat, let's put it that way. That is like one of my cardinal sins. Like to the pit of misery with you. I don't deal with that shit. But if you're gonna use it for ground meat, I can do that one. I can handle this. Or if you're gonna stuff it like we do the BRATchos, those ones are pretty badass. So I can handle that. But what I'm saying is that to me, that is the point of the brat is the pop from the casing.
Exactly.
That's what you gotta have, and that's one of the reasons why we use the natural casing on that. So it's like you just killed an animal and you tossed it, so you tossed the natural casing away, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. So we can go ahead and the ground
let's move
it's
on,
already
man.
dark.
Yeah, whenever you're ready to do what's next.
We'll need to pull the.
Oh, you want to pull the meat off? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Here, go ahead and just use one of these. What do you do with those nacho trays here?
They're right over there.
Yeah, here's just what we'll do. We'll just make one big ass plate here, man.
And then you got that.
There you go. Catch that, please.
The wooden spoon, and I'll go ahead and get that out.
There you go.
So now that we got this all nice and brown and cooked down, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and pull it to the side, and we'll make the cheese sauce.
It's time to get cheesy. Speaking of cheesy, Philly cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Philly cheesy, man. Philly cheesy.
That's how we do it.
So yeah, again, this was definitely. I mean, I don't know. It may be a mistake on my part for trying to befriend somebody that I should have paid attention to their tattoos.
Oh no, not at all.
That should have paid attention to their tattoos. But whatever, it's such a part of your life that you don't really pay attention to anybody's tattoos half the time. You don't even really pay attention to your own. They're just there now.
Well, when we're at the gym, working out, you don't really pay attention to the tattoos. You're just trying to breathe in the gym.
Yeah. So and another real quick story too as well. Our daughters are actually roommates. Our daughters are roommates, and we just ran into each other in the gym a couple weeks ago. So yeah. So like we knew we went to the gym, but we weren't 100% sure who was who. And then so that's kind of where we started chatting and stuff and going from there. So now what's up?
Now what we'll do is we got the brats pulled off. We'll go ahead and throw a stick of butter down.
Yeah, feel free to adjust the temperature controls as much as you want, bro.
Well, with the being open, I think it'll be.
You gotta crank it.
Yeah.
So, dude, TD, what you're telling me is you didn't vet him first before you brought him on the damn show.
No, I didn't. I did not vet him. I didn't vet him. But the other day, Robbie knows him too. And I'm like, Robbie, how come you didn't tell me he was a Philly fan? He goes, you didn't tell me it was Chris, or you didn't tell me it was Isaac until 5 minutes before he's coming on the show.
As we get the butter to go melt, we'll add some minced garlic to it.
It doesn't even measure. Oh, that's how it goes, dude. What is that, 2 tablespoons?
Yeah, about 2 tablespoons worth.
Exactly, the tablespoon measurement. So, hey, Madwood, what's up, man? Long time no see. Thanks for joining us, man. If you're just now joining us, this is my buddy Isaac here. We're doing a beer cheese BRATchos. We're using the ground meat from the spicy carne sutra brats, and we're turning it into some BRATchos. He's making the beer cheese right now.
So we'll get the butter all nice and melted, and then here in a second we'll throw some flour down. Start making a roux.
So you're making a nice roux for this cheese.
Yes.
And you're using all the fat and the grease from the brats.
Yep.
Exactly how you do it. One of the things that I like to do a lot, dude, is when I make a beer cheese, is like I like to take leftover brisket and I cut it up into little tiny pieces and I fry the shit out of it until they look like bacon bits. And I take everything out of that brisket and then I do then I make the roux and the cheese. And then I add those crunchy pieces of brisket to the top of it as like I said, like a bacon bit. So yeah, definitely, man. I totally get it. I always use the grease for my bacon. I always use the grease for my hamburger meat, everything. You always want to use that fat.
And that's why you cut that casing off of, so that you can get the fat coming out.
So you can get the fat in there. Yeah.
That's always good. That's always good.
Just listening to a Philly fan telling me that I gotta cut the casing off of a brat. God, this is like the worst conversation ever.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. So we'll get that hot, start bubbling. We'll add some flour.
There you go, man. Grab whatever you need, man.
So Isaac.
Yeah. What's up, Robbie?
For our viewers out there, so where can they get your products and what kind of products do you have?
So right now over at the butcher block, I have my salsa on their shelves, and then I'll do some pop up here and there, and usually on Instagram or Snapchat that I have, I'll promote it from there.
And what's your Instagram?
So I have two. I have my personal. I do that, and then I have the inked up. So it's inked_up_custom_cooking. And that's my handle there.
Holy shit. People are going to be typing out underscore for a long time.
I'm eating the brat meat.
Heck yeah.
So TD, you got the spicy brats going on. Where can they get those? Do you have any on hand right now?
I do. You gotta hit me up. You gotta come to Lovington, come get them. I got them. I got fresh carne sutra and fresh spicy carne sutra brats. Come get them. That's the only way to get them right now. I'm working on some other stuff, and like I said, we're still working on trying to get the shipping, but it's going to be part of a VIP service subscription type club that we're going to have. These are going to be your free gifts at some point. So if you're interested in the brats, give me a call, send me a message, but we can't ship them yet, so you're gonna have to come by and pick them up in Lovington.
Damn.
And
good thing I go to Lovington.
Having a special experimental test version of a private stock smoked sauerkraut relish that I might possibly, depending on how I feel, if you come down, I might possibly be able to give you a test bottle of the sauerkraut relish. So
nice.
So now, once you kind of start adding the flour, turn the fire down a little bit because you don't want to burn that roux. You want to get it nice. And then what we'll do is, now that you see it's a little brown, when I do my beer, my beer cheese sauce, I always do the Modelo Negros just because it's a more stout. So you want to have that little stoutness. If you use a light beer, you're never going to get.
You don't taste it.
You don't taste any of the flavor. So that's one thing that you want is to taste that flavor.
So Isaac.
Yeah.
For people who are doing 75 hard and can't have alcohol,
you cook out the alcohol off of it. You just get the flavor.
That's what I was gonna say, Rob. I was gonna be like, Robbie, I can't have this because the alcohol is gonna cook out. I have 15 days left, so by the end of the month, I will have completed the 1 year.
Heck yeah! 1 year?
Why is 1 year live hard? Yes, sir.
Nice. Heck yeah!
So not only was it the 75 hard program, it was 3 separate 30 days. Yeah, after that.
Yeah, he went all out on it.
So yeah, and not only that, like I said, so May 1st was my only day off for 60 days. So I basically am almost doing 75 days twice because I miscalculated the days, and I was already in the phase 2, and that's whenever I noticed that, wait a minute, it's not the 30 days leading up to the day that you finish the 75 hard originally. It's the 30 days leading up to the day you started. And I looked at the calendar and I had 1 day in between. I'm like, well, 60-day stretch, man.
We did. What was it?
So about a whole beer?
What's that?
Did you do about a whole beer?
I did a whole beer. Got that poured in. And then we'll get that down so that we can liquefy that roux.
Yeah, and you're just thinning it out now. And then you're going to add the cheese to make it cheese.
Yep.
Right now it's just beer roux. Right? Beer roux?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be considered almost like a knead? Well, it's not with corn, right? It's a flour. So what would that be?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like if it was with cornmeal, it would be a mead, right?
Yeah. With it just being flour and
I don't know.
butter.
Yeah, flour, butter, and yeah, because it's something like that.
We're gonna make a tortilla out of it.
Yeah, we're just gonna make dude. That's not a bad idea. Picking that shit up and let's make beer. Let's make beer tortillas, dude.
There we go.
Yeah.
Start kneading it, pushing it to the side.
Yeah. So I like it like if you've been to Rancho Grande here in Lovington,
Yes.
they have one of my favorite things there is the Philly cheesesteak tacos.
Oh, really?
From there, it's and of course they put like everyone else does which I don't understand this either, but I'm not a green pepper person on my Philly cheesesteaks. Like I like onions, but I'm not a green pepper person.
See, I'm the opposite. Like I like the peppers. I like the red and the yellow or red and orange peppers, but I'm not an onion. So I don't ever cook with onions or anything of that.
So no without onions. Without?
Yeah, without
onions. So okay. So whatever Isaac gets, he gets without onions.
I do. I do.
And then that's the yeah. See, like that's one thing they do. They do bell peppers, cheese, or bell peppers like jack cheese, I think it is, or Monterey, which I
half and half.
Oh, I put it right there, man. On the
okay. Okay. Now that you see that the beer has incorporated into that roux, and you got it nice and got a good brown, what I'll do is I'll add half and half to really kind of liquefy it a little bit more, and then you'll just go ahead and stir that in before you add the cheese.
Now, I would like to point out at home, because I am pretty partial to a really good beer cheese, is that beer cheese does make excellent macaroni and cheese.
It does. It makes it makes great mac and cheese.
It makes excellent macaroni and cheese. But let me get back to my story real quick of my Philly cheesesteak tacos that they make at Rancho Grande here in Lovington. And the one thing that I love the most out of it is they don't use a tortilla. They use a gordita. So the gordita that's flat instead of it like the ones that they puff up and stuff with the meat and the lettuce too.
Yeah.
They use that, but they don't open it up, so it's flat and they just fold it like a taco. Dude, it's so badass. Like, this is so good, man. And it's like that, isn't it sweet potato that you use to make those like that, where they're like that red color, the gorditas?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what it is. That's the kind of tortilla that they use. So next time you go in there, you got to try it, man. It's great.
I'll give it a shot.
Tacos there. So, Robbie, what's up with the post office lately?
No, nothing. Just the same old stuff every day.
Government job, huh? Our tax dollars hard at work. Robbie is on the clock right now.
I'm on the clock filming from the post office. Yeah, I better not say that. I had the freaking inspector general investigating me on my day off.
Yeah. So it does work out pretty good that Robbie's days off are Wednesdays and Sundays.
Oh, there you go.
Pretty good. So yeah, when I asked him, I'm like, "Hey man, can you help me with this?" He's like, "Absolutely, I'm off on those days."
All right. Now what we'll do is, I like it spicy, so that's why one thing that we use that spicy carne sutra brat. But I like pepper jack and sharp cheddar.
So sharp cheddar, huh?
Yeah.
And what is that? 2 cups?
8 ounces.
8 ounces. Okay.
So basically, you have 1 pound of cheese because you have 8 ounces of pepper jack, 8 ounces of sharp cheddar.
Gotcha.
Mix that in.
Now it's time to melt, dude.
And then we'll start melting that cheese. But constantly, the biggest thing about the beer cheese is you constantly want to keep stirring because you can burn that bottom. So you want to continuously stir everything around.
Especially cheese in an iron skillet.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and load this thing up with some chips here.
Okay.
So
and
then
then
we have our plate of nachos.
And then once the cheese starts melting, we'll add the carne sutra, the brats in, and then we'll add some of the inked up salsa as well.
I'm gonna put a little bit more. So you're gonna put the salsa and the meat in the beer cheese, right?
Yeah, basically kind of making a big, thick beer cheese queso.
Nice. Where you can just stand around it and eat it with chips.
For sure.
Beers.
However you want to do it.
Yeah, that's my kind of shit right there, man.
Double dipping.
Yeah, dude, I'm a double dipper, dude. Like sometimes, like especially when I have a plate of nachos, like I'll pick it up and I'll lick all the cheese and everything off it and I'll put it back in there.
Hey, whatever works.
That's the way to do it.
That's how you make sure you get all the cheese, right?
Yep, exactly. But that and this is so hot, kill off any kind of bacteria.
Yeah. Awesome. Here, I'm gonna set this right here so you're ready for that. That broth.
Okay. All right. As you can see, that it is thickened up really well.
Dude, so hold on, I gotta try it. So I'm gonna take a dip in this beer cheese, dude. I feel like Gaffietti and somebody's like, we're on Food Network now.
Hey,
I get to stand around while somebody else makes meat food.
Since you mentioned him, I did get to cook for Guy Fieri on a elk hunt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So how did that go? Tell us.
It was great. It was awesome. Like, had a blast. He was elk hunting with Broken Arrow Outfitting. Mm-hmm. So he was elk hunting with them, and Broken Arrow contracted me to be the camp cook. So we cooked for about 4 days. The coolest thing was at the end of the day, or the last day we were there, that night he already had Chinese food prepared, and then we all cooked together. As soon as they came back in from hunting, we all got around the fire, got around everything, and just cooked a bunch of Chinese food. And it taught me a lot more about how to cook Chinese food.
Really? That's what I would love to learn how to cook really well is Chinese food. I love Chinese food, Asian food, all that shit.
Oh yeah.
Like my wife and I, when we go out of town, that's like the first type of restaurants that we're looking for is like Asian type restaurants. Because we don't have any Asian foods around here.
No, not like you can go to Lubbock to PF Chang's.
PF Chang's. Yeah, that's the closest. It's like Taco Bell for Mexican food. Just a little higher class, I guess.
There you go. And then I'll add a little bit more seasoning to the top of it. And then we'll add some salsa as well.
Cool.
And then, as you can see, it's nice and...
I'm going to put this half and half in the fridge.
Okay, perfect. As you can see, it's nice and thick. That cheese really thickened. And, of course, you can get it real thick the more that you leave it on the heat.
I got to try it with the broth in there now.
Heck yeah. It looks delicious.
Oh, dude, it does. So, what is it, like queso. Like a lot of restaurants around here have like a queso, where they'll have a queso and it's got chorizo in it and it's served as like a dip, or just like chips and dip or like a side. So yeah, that's kind of where he had this idea, and we put in the.
And you can smell the salsa.
I'll put
or you can smell the smoke. If you could smell in the camera.
Oh yeah, these are gonna be solid.
And so I put about a half a jar of salsa in it, and then we'll go ahead and stir it around.
It's crazy too because that beer stands out like crazy. The taste of the beer stands out like crazy, especially when you don't drink, when you haven't drank in a long time. I'm like, ooh, that beer is strong. The taste of that beer. It's just really prominent when you haven't had it in a long time. Or at least in excess in a long time. All
right.
Cool.
Now,
did I give you that ladle? Oh, yeah, it's right there on that trash can.
Yeah.
All right, man. So here, let me do this while you. What we can do is we can grab the. If you want to. Yeah, you got it all shut off.
Yeah.
Cool. And here we go. Yeah, bring it over here. Be careful with that, bitch. It's hot. Here you go. You line this up for you.
Put it right on top.
Yep, just set it right on there. It's okay. It's probably warm enough.
There you go.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. See, like, this is what you have, like, over a fire, and you stand around and you drink beer, and you just eat the queso. That's how we do it, or that's how we've done it.
That's how I normally do it.
All right, so let's get on these nachos here. Yeah. Yeah, see that big, thick cheese?
There we go.
Oh, yes. Let's move this one. Let's move that over here. Grab that. Yeah, let's just push that. That way we can set this right here and chow down on it. Dude, sweet, man. I haven't had anybody cook for me in the sanctuary. Nobody cooks for me over here.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you offering and asking me to come by and
for sure,
help.
man. There you go, dude. Right here, dude. So, let's get down in the view of the camera here, and let's put these inked up TDs in our face. Guys, this is pretty legit. Oh no, it might chip. See, I told you I lick it all off and I dip it back in there.
So is it
good, man? Guys, right?
Is Is it too legit to quit?
Hey.
That is pretty too legit to quit. Look at that right there. Look at it go. Come on. Yeah. Look at that. I didn't think they could cook like this in Philly.
We do. I actually learned from my grandma when she lived in New Jersey. I used to cook with her when I was young.
So it's really a New Jersey product.
I got you. Cool, man. Well,
Awesome.
let's switch this out, man, and let's get a good picture of this real quick. I think we got a pretty good one with the chip there. How does that look, everybody? You guys, lick those. Have a good day. Minnie says, hey, Minnie, thank you for joining as always. Guys, I'm going to move to the other camera real quick. We're going to finish. Come on, Isaac. Yeah, just get back to the one camera, Robbie. Yeah, we're going to finish off these. We're gonna take the division again with these nachos.
He means Philly. Philly's gonna win the division again. Go to the World Series.
Win it again. When was the last time they won it?
Might have been 08.
Wow.
Might have been 08. But we made it to the World Series 2 years ago. So.
Oh, speaking of crazy shit today, dude, we forgot to talk about this, dude. The NFL schedule comes out today.
This thing, yep.
Yeah, the NFL schedule. I did see one leak that says that the Lions and the Bears will play the Lions on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, dang.
So, which is going to be pretty badass. So that's going to be a pretty good one. So
I know my daughter's begging me to take her to the Texans, Cincinnati. She's a big.
Oh, there
Cincinnati
you go.
fan, so.
Cool. Robbie, how's it, Robbie?
He don't
You
want to
still
talk.
there?
Hey, he's muted because he doesn't want to talk about Dallas.
Probably.
I'm right here.
What?
He didn't say anything. He just said Robbie.
Oh, well, I was waiting for you to respond. But anyways, everybody, I'm TD. This is my buddy Isaac here with Inked Up Custom Cooking. You guys give him a follow. I'm TD. That's Robbie. Thanks for joining, everybody.
Thank y'all.